Business owners come to us when they begin to wonder, how exactly do I go about selling my business? How do I figure out a great price and then defend it to the banks and to the prospective buyers? How do I go about reaching around the world and yet not letting my employees and my customers find out the business is for sale? And exactly how does this whole darn process work? We're going to share today a particular listing we recently sold. We sold this during the COVID era when we're proud of, well, heck, we're proud of every client that we get to work with. But I thought I'd give you this one shared idea that might be helpful to give you an idea of what we do. So this is how Tampa Bay's top selling fishing tackle company got a great price. So first of all, we met with the owners well in advance of them going onto the marketplace. We'd actually met them probably a year before they went to list because they had a number of challenges with their business that they wanted to straighten out. They wanted to understand what the value of the business was, what they could do to make it more valuable, and prepare themselves in the long run. Now, probably about 60% of the clients that we meet with go ahead and sell their business right away. But in this case, they had on their mind, hey, is there things we could do? We've been running the business as a family for 50-some years, and maybe we're doing some things that we could do better that would make it more sellable. And we went through that process. And we also spent some time, this is one of our sellers' proprietary or priority checklists, where we try to find out what's important. Obviously, money's important, right? But people like to know, can our business carry on beyond the time frame of sale? Can you keep the employees working? We want to keep the customers happy, etc. And what are the other factors that are important in the business? So we went through the process, we had the conversation, and they went and did a lot of homework to prepare themselves. In fact, they developed an online business, etc. We then also determined the current market value. We have a 20-page market assessment where we go over analyzing the business, and we also help people prepare different things they could do to possibly add value to the business. We do this prior to selling the business as an immediate thing, and we also help people in the long run. In this case, they took a year or so off. They also had a struggling parent with some struggling health issues and a few other things that kept them from not engaging immediately, but they also wanted to more fully engage the online sales, improve some things, bring management in, and that sort of thing. So we talked about the different factors and qualities, and I said they cleared up their books. They brought in a management team so that they were not so much the face of the business as they had been for the many years that they've been running it. They increased the revenues completely and developed a whole online, full operating system that brought in more revenues, etc. So those were some of the key ways that they added value, and then we went to market. So we were then called back. They engaged a passionate and experienced firm to do confidential buyer search, prepare their market, prepare their business for sale, and get things rolling. So we're passionate. I love what I do. My team is well educated. We invest every year thousands and thousands of dollars and hours to learn different things on ways to improve what we do to serve the clients that we work with. And that pays off for us. We're proud of it, and we love it, and we were honored that they called us back again for a full engagement. We began the process, and we decided, how are we going to go about marketing this business? For every client that we work with, there are a lot of things that are very similar, but we also created an individual marketing plan. So we started about, do we do e-newsletters? Do we do an email blast? Do we reach out to private equity groups that might be working in a certain realm that would find a business like a fishing tackle company useful and attractive? We're part of a lot of different organizations. We're good friends with the Empire Network. We're part of the International Business Brokers Association, the Mergers and Acquisition Source. We're key members of the Business Brokers of Florida, and they have a network in Georgia, but we have 1,100 members right here in the Business Brokers of Florida. We also connected to the M&A Source and IBBA, so we probably have 3,000 or 4,000 other brokers that we're willing to work with and share our commission. We're not one of those firms that sort of wants to hold it all to ourselves and not let other people get involved in the business. We end up doing some direct mail. We had to think about who would be a complementary buyer or who would want to expand. We developed network flyers, and we thought about newspaper ads. Again, we tailored this for each one, and we did not decide to do that. but we reached out and got ourselves on as many websites as we could. This is just a few of them. Oh, and I've already skipped to the next page. This is just a few of the websites that we're in. We also are now getting onto YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram in some cases, and Twitter. And we look at synergistic buyers and outside buyers and financial buyers, etc., to reach all the different possible potential candidates. And we even had permission to go through and reach out to some of the specific customers of this business. Usually things are kept highly confidential, and they were up until a point, but at one point they decided they would share with the employees because they thought maybe some of them would want to possibly buy the business, or if the word got out, they wanted to be straightforward and keep the continuity very strong, and it worked extremely well. Anyway, this is a copy of the individual marketing plan that we designed for every customer and client. We went out and we engaged different banks. I blocked out the actual dollar terms for this company because you're going to be able to find out what it is in just a moment or two. And we went and got pre-qualification. Now, this doesn't mean they're pre-approved. Any broker that's telling it pre-approved is misguided in terms of the terminology, but that's okay. Everybody's going through a learning process in the things that we do, but we did get this qualified. Huntington Bank was one of the top ones that did the job for us, and they were a terrific bank. Then we created another thing that we found to be really useful. I know a lot of times people run these ads in the news, and then somebody asks about the business, and if they're not local, if they're not inside a certain geographic area, they're asking everything to be emailed. Well, we found one of the key things is to create a really nice, engaging teaser. It shows that we've spent a lot of time. Our work that we do from engaging the business to getting it on the market can take anywhere from 60 to 80 hours. Now, we've got other people working on it. We've got Josh working on the valuation. We've got Jennifer working on packaging a lot of this stuff out there. Myself or one of the individual agents will be putting stuff together. We have people that are mailing out stuff. We got Skylar working on mailing out different documents if we're doing direct mail. So we have a whole team. So you're not waiting 60 to 80 hours for anything to happen, but we're putting in at least that many person hours in the business to get it going. Anyway, one of the things that we found several years ago is that it's really great to have a compelling flyer, something that's beautiful, attractive, interesting to look at, and yet they still can't tell what the business is. We get all our pictures from things like Shutterstock or free online pictures, and we give the highlights of the business along with the non-disclosure and request for information about the seller and identification, etc., and we work towards putting that together. Now, after they sign the non-disclosure agreement, they deserve to get a package on the business. And I didn't give every single page. This is a 30-some page report that we spent time putting together. But you can see some of the pages. This one was over 30 compelling pages. We talked about what confidentiality is. We talked about SBA. We talked about the rules. We talked about how we determine the value and add backs and how things would work if somebody from another country was looking to buy a business. We talked about the group of workers, the managers that were there I talked about. We included a very personal part of the business. And we go through this package, and these are just pages in real small print. That just not to bore you too much, this is just to give you a high-level view. But this is some of the work that takes us those hours and hours to get on the market. This is a copy of a confidentiality document everybody has to sign, agree to, and understand, and demonstrate that they understand why it's important to maintain confidentiality. We also know that most prospective buyers have never been through the process before. So we begin with education pieces. We have the 11 steps to buying a business. This is one that we send out because we have a lot of people saying, okay, I saw that now, just send me the taxes and send me this and that and the other. And we know that most sellers don't really want to give away the whole farm to every person that has an interest in the business. We explain, hey, you've got some of the financials now, but the W-2s, the 1099s, the tax returns you're not going to see until we get an asset purchase agreement or agreement in terms of selling price. You'll be expected to put escrow down, etc. So we go through an education process for both sides of the equation. So we're helping the people like yourself if you're looking to sell a business, and we're also helping the prospective buyers. Look, we connected to the world. We reached 1,100 other brokers in Florida. We reached 1,500 brokers or more, maybe even a couple thousand through the international business brokers, the M&A source, and that sort of thing. We reached over 300 business professionals, attorney, immigration specialists, accountants, etc. We reached nearly 20,000 in our database that we have of people that are just sitting around looking for businesses or knowing people or redirecting people. We reached hundreds of direct mail to potential expanders and synergizers. We networked with we're very close with the Keller Williams division of the 7 offices around the greater Tampa Bay area. In this particular case, we cautiously approached seller-selected direct competitors. Our sellers said, hey, I got a few people I think would be the right person, and we had to find a way to go about reaching to them, get them to sign a non-disclosure, and then give them some information that we felt safe with without giving away too much information. Again, we worked hand in hand with the seller specifically on this. We showed up on dozens of traditional as well as non-traditional websites, and we engaged the social media like LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. At the very end, you received multiple offers in the first 6 months. The average business takes about 9 months to sell, by the way, so this is not a quick thing. And if you think that we still take a couple weeks to get it onto the marketplace in some cases, you're probably talking to think about a year's time frame to fully get through the entire process. We sold the business close to asking price. We included a team of attorneys and lenders, investment advisors, all kinds of professionals that would help make this process go smoothly. And also we sent advisors over to the sellers so that they had an opportunity to try and not only just get the best for their business, but to keep as much of that as possible. We happen to have sold this with real estate, so it was a dual-edged sale, and that meant that we had to go get closing attorneys for one part and other attorneys for a different part and different loan processes. It was complicated, but we helped these 2 brothers that had taken the business over from their parents pass on a great legacy that's expected. I assume it's going to go on for decades to come. I certainly hope so. We found an enthusiastic, driven, and knowledgeable buyer. The SBA lenders loved the new buyer, and we helped everybody navigate a complex process in spite of the fact that COVID-19 took place. So the end result, after quite a while, but not all that long, we just sold this business in Hillsborough County. It was listing number 883-90300, Southeastern Fishing, a really great company. Go by and check them out if you're in the Tampa Bay area near Florida and Florida-Nebraska. And if you are thinking or wondering, hey, what could I do? Can I sell my business? Should I talk to somebody now, or can we prepare something for the long run or the short run? Feel free to reach out to us. My phone number is 833-BUYBIZ1. You can also reach out to us at Brian at buybizusa.com. Our website is buybizusa.com. And with that, you can find ways to connect to our firm, our client, our team, myself, or whomever. If you'd like, we'll even have Jennifer send you out a free e-textbook, the 2021 Guide to Successfully Selling Your Business. Just type in the words BUYBIZUSA to the number 22828. Again, BuyBizUSA to 22828, or just call us at 833-BuyBiz1, or just check the website out, and you'll find my contact information there, and we'd love to help you out. Take care, make great things happen, live the dream, and carry on the legacy. Bye-bye.